Final score in what became an anticlimactic Game 7 at Los Angeles. Clippers 126, Dallas 111. There's three levels at which we can analyze this thing. We can go micro to macro. Level number one, obviously, is on the game itself. The Clippers players 3 through 8 were superior vastly to the Mavericks players 2 through 8. That's the story of this game. Next level, level 2, on the series. And some of the things accomplished, and maybe the biggest thing not accomplished. The Mavericks went and won 3 games on the road in a series at LA against a better team. That is a something. That qualifies as a something. You'd like to think it was a building block. We'll get to that in a minute. You go back to Game 3 at the AAC with an unusually buzzy crowd, an unusually large crowd, and you get ahead 19 points. And I know that what Rick Carlisle did there in taking out Luka Doncic at that moment was the pattern. That's how they do it. That's how they keep Luka fresh enough. And by the way, rarely fresh enough, unfortunately. Sometimes at the end of games, Jeff Van Gundy on the national TV broadcast said something to the effect of, "It's a real mystery to me why Luka's numbers go down a little bit in the second half." Is it? Is it really? Because in the second half, the other team cranks up his intensity, and Luka Doncic is gassed after having carried this entire franchise on his shoulders. It's not that shocking, Jeff. Not that shocking at all. But if you could go back and redo Game 3, that was the opportunity missed. And I wonder if Rick Carlisle, in his heart of hearts, even though he has a way of doing things and the way works, if up 19, he could go back and say, "Luka, why don't you stay in there and get a little tired? Because we're not going to worry about you being tired in the fourth quarter, because we're on such a roll, we're going to get ahead 19, 21, 24, and we won't have to worry about the fourth quarter." And then on the third level, and this is about the franchise and the direction of it. No, we're not firing everybody. Get some real help for Luka here. This roster is not drastically different than it was 2 years ago. So in that sense, the building of the roster has been about the development of people. Tim Hardaway is a better player than he was when he came here. Dorian Finney-Smith is a better player than he was when he came here. I don't know that I can name a lot of guys in that category. That's why I stopped at 2. The roster's got to be better. Some people, maybe short-sighted or small-minded, are going to blame Luka Doncic because he should have what? In a 14, 15-point loss, he should have scored 15 more points? He had 46 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 14 assists. I don't know if this is, everybody knows this yet. Hopefully they will. 46 points is one shy of the NBA record in a Game 7. Dominique Wilkins once scored 47 in a Game 7. This was as brilliant a performance from a guy as you've gotten in a Game 7 in forever. It wasn't good enough, but not because of that individual guy. So how do you get help? There is free agency money to be spent. We know now that cap room is not king, that it's being a desirable destination. We'll see, and hopefully Dallas can be that in large part because Luka Doncic can be here serving as a magnet. But this organization was wrong about Kristaps Porzingis. They're wrong to baby him. They're wrong to keep apologizing for him. And I'm not talking about babying him physically with the knee. I'm talking about babying him emotionally. They're wrong to continue to pretend that he is things that he is not. Go back again to who should have been tied for the second best player, who should have been tied for the third best player. It's supposed to be Porzingis. And in fact, he wasn't as good as Marcus Morris Sr. in this Game 7. The Mavericks 2 through 8 guys, Porzingis included, would be perfectly fine being the 4th best guy in your team. They got a lot of those guys. If KP was the 4th best guy in your team would be good. If Hardaway or Dorian Finney-Smith, or that collection of guys, if they could just be pushed down a couple notches on the totem pole and not asked to do here things that they are simply not capable of doing, and that group is led by Kristaps Porzingis, you've got a problem there. I think the Mavericks will make an examine, at least, making a drastic change in Kristaps Porzingis' status as a member of this team. All this put together adds up to the Dallas Mavericks not having now won a playoff series in a decade. It doesn't mean the future can't be bright, but it does mean this last decade, even with Luka Doncic on your team, been a little bit too dark. Fish, out.